Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Acaster. This is the wonderful Aurora 4X. Let's carry on our game here, shall we? So in the last episode, we made some progress towards the A-class fleet, which is the Agincourt, the Azazel. They have many prototype components, but right now the Azazel is getting there, honestly. It's getting there. We haven't finalized its armor density or anything. But it has pretty good search sensors, and one thing I decided, I was talking to Twitch chat between this episode and the last one, and one thing we decided is we're not going to put search sensors on the destroyers, because remember, you only need to have a search sensor in the fleet for them to be alright, for them to keep working. And so we decided we weren't going to put one on the destroyers, because if all the cruisers are dead, the only way the destroyers aren't going to have a search sensor to see missiles and shoot them down is if all the cruisers are dead. And if all the cruisers are dead, we have no DPS. Except, I mean, unless we're at like 0 range, which we're not likely to be. And if we have no DPS, then we're not going to win. Like, they're going to die. So we're not going to put the search sensor on them. And also the missile search sensor is quite a lot bigger than the ship search sensor. We pushed it more to the limit in terms of range on the missile search sensor. So we're going to go with that. Cool. So next thing we need is... Oh, we're sorting this by date? That's not good. I was hoping to get this tech done. Which is not done for 3 years. Okay, well, let's look at what kind of turret we could make already. Have we invented the Gauss cannon? I'm not sure we have. No. Okay, so let's invent the Gauss cannon that we want to use. First off, Gauss cannon. So we're gonna have a rate of fire of 4, launch velocity of 40,000. That's fine. And full accuracy. Yeah, I thought I've already done this. Okay, I've prototyped it, but I haven't put it on anything, I suspect. Yes, there it is. So we will research prototype. Oh, that's not a prototype? No, okay, we have invented the Gauss cannon. Alright. So now we need to put it on a turret. So we go, there's a new, different window entirely for turrets. That's this one here. So here's our turret. We only have one potential weapon we can put on it. The Gauss reload rate 400. Sorry. Well, anyway, that Gauss cannon that we just talked about with 4 reload rate and 40,000 launch velocity. And what tracking speed do we want? Well, we want this to be the same as our missile fire control. Sorry, our beam fire control. And we went with 25,000 kilometers per second on that. Now that's an ask. That's a big ask. How big is it? How big is it? It's not that big! Oh, this is a single turret. We probably want a quad turret. That's not that bad. Honestly, that's not that bad. Okay. We can work with this. A 1,500 ton turret. We've got better turret tracking than I'm used to. So you can see the cost in here, right? You can have a single weapon, in which case each individual weapon costs 48, and you can see it right now. In order to achieve this tracking speed, 40% of the total turret has to be gears, basically, in order to help it fly from one direction to another, in order to be able to shoot down the incoming missiles. So if we want to make a quad turret, and generally, so a single turret, as you can see, is 420 tons, right? A twin turret is 816, notably not double. So we can get more, we can get, you know, quadruple the firing power without quadrupling the cost, I believe. Well, hang on, is twin is better, but somehow this looks worse to me. Am I going crazy? 4,000. No, that is better. That is better. So we're going to go with the quad turret. Now the question is, do we want to put additional armor on the turret? And turret armor. Remind me, are turrets outside the armor? I think they might be outside the ship's armor. Design. Beam type, desired tracking speed, armor. Allows turrets to be armored and works exactly like armoring ships or magazines. Armor is rounded. The effect of turret armor is to increase the hit to kill of the turret. Yes, so we might want to put some armor on it because the turrets are, quite logically, outside the thing. Also, in an earlier video, I said you can't put extra you don't put extra armor on, like the armor is evenly distributed. That is true, but you can armor some individual components. So you can end up with some kind of citadel strong points. Now, do we want to put some armor on it? Yes, basically, is the short answer. To know how much armor we want to put on it, I kind of want to match everything else. Remembering the damage type things that I was talking about earlier. So you want your armor to be, you know, 1 thickness deals with missiles of strength 1, 2, and 3, at least 1 round of strength 1, 2, and 3. 2 deals with 4, 3 deals with 9. Let's prepare, let's make the armor 6. 8. 9. Let's give it 8 armor on our first turret. I've no idea if that's like a good amount. It's 2,000. It's a 2,000 ton piece of kit now. Rate of fire 5 seconds. Damage output of 1, which is all you need, because 1 point of damage will destroy almost all missiles. You can have armored missiles, but they're rare. And it takes 40 hits to kill, if it goes through everything. It's 40 at most, I believe. Because turret armor, well, actually, I don't know. The effect of turret armor is increase the hit to kill of the turret. Okay, maybe actually, okay, maybe turrets don't work like normal armor. If it has no armor, the hit to kill is 8. If you give it 8 layers, it's 40. Yeah, let's give it 8 armor strength. So hit to kill is a different thing than the armor that we were talking about in the previous in the video on ship design. So it's a bit more complicated. Okay. I think that's what we want. It's not going to cost that much to develop. And there's no point having a higher tracking speed than this, I think, because it takes the lower tracking speed. But I do want to check that. Aurora 4X. Tracking speed, turret versus fire control. Ship speed plus tracking speed. Fighter tracking. Okay. Beam's weapon tracking speed. Hang on, let me pause and read this. Yes, okay, I thought so. It will use the lower tracking speed, so there's no point going higher than our fire control. So we will stick with this. This looks good. Create that. We can now research that under missiles kinetic weapons. The quad Gauss cannon R400 100 turret. Gimme. And that won't take long. And then once we've got them invented, the bottleneck is going to be some of this power and propulsion stuff. So let's cancel, well, yeah, let's cancel this jump drive efficiency tech. And instead, let's invent the jump drives themselves. Because I want to, you know, we're trying to get everything done by maybe 21, the next kind of 2 years. We're trying to have these ships ready to fly. So we need to invent a jump drive. Let's see. A military jump drive with a jump drive efficiency of 8. And it's going to be pretty big, because it needs to jump a 30,000 ton ship. This is the jumping 30,000 military jump drive. Okay, yep, create that. And then we need another one that's designed to jump the destroyers, which will be, of course, much smaller. 1,875 tons. Done. And then we also need to... Well, no. Actually, I'm not going to put jump drives on our tankers and our coilers. They stop at the most recent jump gate. They're the closest jump gate to the action. And they hang out there. But what we need is to get these researched. So, gimme that, and gimme that, and then you can keep working on this just a train, and then we got 3 more on the refueling hub. Okay, making pretty good progress. Freight 1 was unable to load infrastructure at Mars. That's great news, because that means Mars is out of infrastructure. How's Titan's environment, by the way? It's almost at 2 atmospheres. Temperature's looking a lot nicer. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, what was I thinking? Yes, so Mars is out of infrastructure. Good. It doesn't need any, after all. It can have no maximum supported population. Excellent, and we've got some big populations now on Lunar and Mars, nicely growing. They're still flagged as destination. Don't do that, it's stable. Okay. I think... Well, maybe I should flag Lunar and Mars as sources of colonists now, but no, I'd like to fill them up more, basically, especially Lunar. I think I'm going to set Earth as a source of colonists again. There's a risk that it drains Earth too much, but I'd like the civilians to be able to move people from Earth to Atacama. Which I know, so I was saying it, when I say it, it sounds Japanese, which is not obviously what I'm going for. But since it's, you know, Chilean. Although I don't know if it's named after it might be named after a Japanese guy. For all I know. Okay, what do I want to do with my freight? Remove all. I guess I should start moving infrastructure from Earth to Atacama, because Atacama is really hard to terraform, right? Yeah, pretty hard. And if we have a bunch of infrastructure in Beta Telescopy, that's fine anyway, because there are other planets that I want to inhabit with infrastructure that we're unlikely to terraform. And this one I think is just too cold. So sure, freight, refuel at Earth, then load infrastructure, then jump through to Beta Telescopy and drop off installations at Atacama, and then come back. I should change the name because I can't pronounce this. What else could I call it? I'll just call it Alma. I can say Alma at least, which is the name of the kind of, it's the Agatayama Large Magnetic Array or something like that. But we'll just call it Alma. Okay, so yeah, they're just going to take infrastructure from Earth to Alma. Good. Okay, what's the next research coming up? Okay, and we've retooled for the Exodus class successfully. Ah, yes, I forgot about that. Don't cycle moves on that freight, because we're going to upgrade you. And Colony, remove your orders and stop cycling. And the albatrosses are done, which means we want another wave of albatrosses, please. Albatross, give me another wave of those. And then the freight yard, in not very long at all. We finished the 130% plasma drive. Good. Which means we have a good guy available. So let's cancel this one, because it's the one that's going to take the longest. And put it in with the guy with all the labs. And then you can keep going on. I don't think I need any of these. More Gauss cannon rate of fire. Might as well start on that. Sure. Okay, and then in just a moment, Colony 1 will finish its orders. And the freight yards can refit a bunch of Daniel C's to Exodus C's. And it will cost 780. Whereas to construct a new one will cost 1,780. So much better to do a bit of a refit. Exodus Chronicles. Good. Do that to as many of them as you can. And then if I look at the Colony ship, it's Colony fleet, it's just freight Daniels. So we will actually be able to do that for all of them. I should have set up an auto refit. In fact, I will do that with the last one here. We'll delete that task. Set up an auto refit from Daniel C to Exodus C. Use components if you have them. Create task. What does refit details do? Oh, cool. It tells you what you're changing. Makes sense. Great. Production of ordnance factories done at Earth. Excellent. Excellent news. What do I want at Earth now? there any low grav places we want to inhabit? Like this one. It's not that much to mine there. Is there a lot of population potential there? No. I mean, low grav places tend to be small. You can quote me on that one. No, I don't think there's anything I really want to do there. What about Kansari? We've got 3 million pop available there. These are all pretty small. And you're just normal, not low grav. No, I don't think I want to build anything. I think we're going to not build anything for a minute, which is wasteful in some ways, but it's also not wasteful. It means we're not just throwing away minerals just because we feel like we ought to, which is, I think, good. So, instead, let's keep terraforming Titan. So Titan, we've got temperature pretty close to where we want it now. Getting a little bit tight on the atmosphere. What are we looking at? 3.5 atmospheric pressure right now. Well, let's just add another 0.5, or 0.45, and hope that's enough on the temperature, because we're really close on the temperature now here. So, I mean, yeah, we're getting better. Freight 1 has completed order, so we're just going to let them stay in Earth's orbit while we do the refitting of the Colonials. Luna has insufficient protection. First time we've had to do more than one set of police. And that insufficient protection problem, by the way, will go away once we have military vessels in system. So that will be it's not a long-term problem. We won't have to keep shuttling the police around forever. Dirty inactive research. And the deep well fields tanker one is done. Because my Gauss Cannon launch velocity guy has died. Okay. Let's get that terraforming research back off the ground then, if we could. Excuse me, Earth, research, this guy, go. And the other spare labs, looks like there's nothing for them to go to at the moment. Maybe... we've got plenty of wealth, right? Racial wealth still trending up. Faster jump point stabilization? Can't hurt. Basically. Oh, right, yes, and the tanker yard has finished its increase in size, which means now we can retool it to tanker Bosphorus. Yes, that's right. Get that retooling going. And we have completed the research into the quad Gauss Cannon turret. Amazing. You can carry on with the launch velocity then. Which means we can now go over here and say, hey, Acaster, we can pretty much finish building you. So you're going to get... Where are they? Not Gauss cannons, but turrets. Do I need to refresh this page? Am I just missing it? Where's my turret? Is it under Gauss cannon? Yes, there it is. Okay. The Gauss cannon, the quad Gauss cannon turret. Boom. So we'll put a few of these on here. And then we'll have to look at what kind of thickness of armor we can live with. So if we put 4 of them on here, we're going to be quite thin on the armor department. So how about 3? And then we can rock only 5 armor. It's pretty low. It's pretty low. And this is with the maintenance life is 0.11 years, which is not great. 0.11 years, sorry. 0.11 is a non-number. Okay. Let's put 2 on each. I mean, that's not that many, is it? But now they're quite survivable. Now we can have, let's say, 8 layers of armor, and then on the engineering spaces, let me just tweak this. Engineering. Yep, not in there now. Good. Okay, so we put a maintenance storage bay and a engineering spaces. We put 2 engineering spaces and a couple more of these. Now the problem is, you don't just want. I made the hit to kills on those turrets way too high. The turrets are going to get killed by 40 shots. The whole ship gets killed by 120. That's probably a mistake. Anyway. Okay, 3 maintenance storage bays. Oh, I guess maybe we go with a large maintenance storage bay, or 2. 2 large maintenance storage bays, and 3 in. Well, we don't need the actually. You know what? Less engineering spaces, more maintenance storage bays. Half a year is plenty of deployment time for a ship like this. 3 large maintenance storage bays. Because the point is, maintenance storage bays hold the material, like the resource you need, which is whatever it's called. Maintenance points? What was it called? Maintenance supply points. They hold the thing needed by the damage control teams to repair modules with. Components, sorry, with. So we don't really need, the deployment time is less of an issue. It's more about having enough maintenance supply points to repair damaged things if we need to. Okay, so we go with 9 armor, 10 armor, 11 armor. Up to 11 armor now. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. And then we'll just put fighter maintenance storage bays on, or maybe tiny maintenance storage bays on, just to get the size where we want it. There we go. 15,000 ton Acaster class destroyer. There's nothing in this box down here, which is the alerts window. This shows us if something's going wrong. It's got 1 improved damage control, 1 165% power magneto plasma drive, an engineering space, some large fuel storages and some normal fuel storages. It takes a lot of fuel to keep this thing in the sky. 2 quad Gauss cannon turrets, a bunch of storage. It's got a deployment time of 12 months. That's actually way longer. Now I think about it, that's silly. This thing is not going to be in the sky for that long. It's got a deployment time of 4 months. And that's made it so much smaller we can actually afford to put a whole nother layer of armor on it. I mean, that's important. Yeah. It's got an auxiliary control, a bridge. Oops, what'd I take out? I think it was the auxiliary control, yeah. Combat information center, a main engineering, no science department. It's got the beam fire control, which we're still inventing, and the magneto plasma drive, which we're still inventing. Oh, actually, damn, I didn't hit research prototype on that yet. Damn. Cancel something with lots that I'm not really that invested in. Magazine fuel one. Feed one, rather. Though you're my best missiles and kinetic one, so let's put you on... Well, let's put you on inventing a missile in a second. What I want instead was census control, this, you, go for it. Okay, and that missiles and kinetic guy... Yeah, we're going to get him to invent a missile, but... We'll use... Well, actually, do I have everything I need to invent a missile? And we did all the missile tech we wanted. Yeah, so cancel this neutralization system chance. I'm gonna invent some other missile stuff with him. Okay. What's it missing? I don't think it's missing. I think it's good. I think it's good. It's a 15,000 ton ship with 305 crew. Takes 1.6 years to build. I think this looks good. I think this looks like a nice ship. It's obviously got no major offensive qualities, but that's okay. We can see range bands here, which is useful. So let's say, we're trying to hit something at 10,000 range. That means this value here is the one that will be updated. And let's say the target is going at 10,000 speed. What is our chance to hit it? 1? Is that 1%? What if it was going at 1? I think this is just saying it can hit the first 4 bands. Target speed. What if it was going super fast? How do I refresh this? This doesn't seem to be updating. I mean, the actual target speed we were talking about is 25,000. I guess this is assuming the target speed. I thought this updated when I changed this value. What if it was going at, stupid numbers? Function's either too large or too small. Fair enough. Now it updated. Okay. So what if it was going at 50,000? Okay, now it's working. Good, good, good. Okay, so if it's going at 25,000, then we have a 92% chance to hit it when it's 10,000 kilometers away. If it's going at 36,000, it drops down to a 64% chance to hit, right? Problematic. You know, it means almost half's going to get through. But 25,000, we're doing okay. 92% chance to hit. And remember, we're firing... it's got a rate of fire of 5. And it's firing those turrets. Where do I see that? Technology report window. I want to see my Gauss cannons. We've got 4 of these in each. 1 times 4. So we're firing once every 5 seconds. We're firing in one volley, and we can fire 1 volley every 4 seconds. We're firing 4 from each Gauss cannon, meaning 16 from this bad boy. So we're putting out 32 shots with this Acaster class destroyer. 32 shots every 4 seconds, which means, you know, if we assume we hit roughly the proportion that we are probable to, we're going to be able to hit 92% of those targets if they're traveling at 25,000, which means we can shoot down 29.4 missiles per 5 seconds with these Acaster destroyers. Which means if we build 5 Acaster destroyers to start with, what was it, 21.6, something like that, we can handle an incoming, just with the Acasters, we can handle an incoming volley of 148 missiles if they're each traveling at 25,000 kilometers per second. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. And it won't just be the 5 Acasters, there'll also be cruisers. No, we need to research all these active search sensors as well. Sensor control, give me this. And give me this. Good. They should be invented pretty quickly. Yeah. Just next month. Okay. So now the Azazel cruiser needs... It's also going to get this Gauss quad turret. 2 as well. Already having to cut down the armor size quite significantly. I think we'll put 2 on each, because then it'll just make maths easier later down the line. And basically what the Azazel cruiser is doing versus the Acaster is it's making itself twice as large in order to also carry missiles, essentially. But the armor's going to have to come way down to fit all the other stuff I want on here on. Because now we need to design a missile. Now, missile design is complicated. So, here's our missile design screen. We are going for a missile size of 6. That's the size launcher that we have. So we have, in this column, we can have numbers that add up to 6. So let's say we want, and we're likely to want some pretty crazy engine power. Here are the values of the missile. Speed, missile size, and remember this is the number that we want to be, sorry, these values and this value equal the size of the missile. So how big is the engine? And, fuel is here. So let's say we give it 1 point of size towards warhead strength. That's going to do 8 damage. Now remember, 8 damage, not ideal. We want to do 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, or 49 damage. So let's try and do 9 damage. So 1.1, 1.2, 1.15, 1.12, 1.14, 1.13, 1.125, 1.124, 1.125, 1.249, 1.15. Could have just done the maths, but there you go. Trial and error. So we're going to do 9 damage with this missile. It's going to penetrate 3 layers of armor with each hit. We're going to have, and this is the Dying Sun anti-ship missile. Heck of a name. We want it to be really fast. I want it to be really hard for the enemy to shoot this thing down. Let's give it, we're just going to experiment first, and then I'm going to show you how to use a calculator to do this for you. Let's say we want to give it 1 size point of engine power. But remember, we want our missile to have a range of 111 kilometers at most. Which means if we wanted to do this way, in terms of engine power and engine size, we'd have to give it like... it would have to be... like, it can't be done, basically, with these parameters. So let's make the engine way bigger. which lowers fuel consumption, just like it does with a normal engine. What if we make the engine half the missile? Now we're getting somewhere, right? Range of this year, and our speed is 31,000 kilometers a second. Pretty fast. Now here is the chance to hit. This is important. If the target is moving at 1,000 kilometers per second, we have a 315% chance to hit. If they're traveling at 3,000 kilometers a second, we have a 105% chance to hit. 5 kilometers a second, 63% chance to hit. Now, let's design a missile that's designed to defeat our cruisers. So our cruisers travel at 8,600. So that's the target speed. You could play with these numbers and try and work out exactly what the right balance is between engine size and fuel and agility in order to get the best chance to hit, because maybe it makes more sense to put 1 extra point into agility. Notice the incredible decrease in speed, but the phenomenal increase in chance to hit, but then decrease the engine size instead. And we might find that agility is worth investing in, or we might not. But instead, why don't we play it smarter, not harder, and use the missile optimizer. So step 1 for using the missile optimizer, we've got to tell it how much tech we have. So we have, yep, that's right, yep. We don't have the magnetic containment fusion. We have the magnetoplasma. We're matching these numbers here with these numbers here. We have 0.5 fuel, yep. We have 3 times max boost, yep. We have min, it's not really relevant. We have the no tech for ECM. Active sensor strength is, we went higher than that. I think we're at 36 now. We can check. Yep, we're at 36. Thermal sensor strength, we haven't done any of that tech, so we'll just leave that at 5. We're not going to put sensors on the missiles anyway. You can use missiles as probes, by the way, with sensors on them, which is why some of this stuff's down here. It's a normal warhead, it's not a radiation warhead. Okay, so 6 size. Target speed is going to be 8,666. Desired chance to hit, 100%, sounds nice to me. Warhead strength is desired to be 9. And then we say optimize. And it says, good news, optimization completed. There are missiles that satisfy our requirements. But that's because I told it that the range, I didn't give it the range. My bad. Where did I put this? Yes, desired minimum range, 111 million kilometers. And we're going to hit optimize. And it says there is actually a missile that can do that for us with our current tech level. Pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. But it's not, though. It's doing the best it can, but it's not actually quite giving us what we want. Because we can see the missile size is down here, and it tells you how much to give the things, what values to give it. But it's telling us actually at 10,000 kilometers a second, it would only have an 87% chance to hit. So at 8, I feel like it, well, no, I mean, that's, maybe it will have exactly 100 at 8. It probably will, to be honest. So here we go. Pretty good, and it tells you, here's what you should give it. 3.3 engine size, 1.1702 agility, and all this stuff. It's really, really useful. And this missile will fly for 3,879 seconds over a maximum potential range of 112.65 million kilometers. Pretty good. Pretty good. And it's going to go at 29,000 kilometers per second. So it's slightly faster than the missiles we've designed our ship to defeat. And so now we just plug these numbers in here. I know that one's going to be right. And then the fuel capacity is much less than we gave it. 48. The agility is 1.1702. The engine power is 8.71. Oh, which we can't actually do. Interesting. We can only do 8.7, so we'll see how that messes with things. And the engine power boost is 320%. Sorry, 330%. Wait, what did I just do? Engine size is 3.3. What's the... I should have read that. What's this one? Oh, that's the engine power that results of these values. Okay, so here's our missile. It has, you will note, this number here matches this number here. So the calculator is working properly. And this is the Dying Sun anti-ship missile. Created. Boom. Beautiful. The Dying Sun anti-ship missile. And that's how you use the missile calculator. Really, really simple. Really, really nice and simple. And now we go to research. We go to missiles and kinetic. We go for available. And here's the missile. Now we invent it. Of course, kind of rate of fire. Forget that. I want me a missile. and that'll be done February next year. Let some time go, get those things invented. We are raising an army. We've invented the military jump drive, one of them, and the magnetoplasma drive. Good. I should put the jump drive on. That was the large one, I think. Gotta refresh this page. Jump drive, here it is. This is the Azazel class 1. We might actually... Oh, I put 3 quads on here, actually. We actually might only want 1 on the cruisers. Looking at the armor rating, we're struggling a bit here. So, and because we still have to... I mean, we might have to go down to like 8, because I still have to put all the maintenance storage on it. We have an engineering space, but we don't need all these small ones. Excuse me. So yes, don't need the small fuel storage. Give me large maintenance storage bay. Notice the maintenance life not moving much. So we probably need a bunch more engineering spaces to get that remotely acceptable. Maybe that many. I might have to thin the armor even more, which I'm not happy about, believe me. Maybe we do let the Acasters do all of the defense. Maybe I put a couple less. Yeah, let's put a couple less. We'll have 8 anti-ship missiles. But there's a large jump drive. Okay. Power and propulsion. Anything else I really desperately want there now? Is there anything else that's like I left undone that I actually want? Don't think so. Yes, Gauss cannon. Get the Gauss cannon going. Get the feed efficiency going. Get the... There's nothing else I desperately want here. Maybe... Sure, improve gravitational sensors. I wouldn't say no. And then... Jump point. Fine. So, here's our Azazel. We've got the jump drive. And the Acaster one hasn't been invented yet. That's fine. We'll wait a little bit more. Should be coming in, yeah, relatively soon. Oh, it's only got 5 things on it. Can we actually get that? Well, there's no point in hurrying it up because these ones are still behind it. I guess. So actually, I could switch around these 2 techs. Oops, didn't mean to cancel that one. Let's cancel this one. Sensor control, give me... What did I just do? I didn't cancel it. You, cancel project. Yes. Okay. You research it with loads of labs. Get it done real fast. And then... what else can I do? You... No, you... Get all those extra labs. Good. And then you can have some more. Okay. We finished the beam fire control research. Good. So it's one more thing that's no longer a prototype on this beautiful vessel of ours. There's a bunch more albatrosses, and we've researched the Dying Sun anti-ship missile. Fantastic. You can keep going on that then, and we do want a bunch more albatrosses. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Well, let's hit save and see what the fuel line looks like. What's updates? Oh, that's quite promising. See, that's the kind of trend line we like. I'm going to stop building albatrosses for now. But that's what we like to see. And I have 16 waiting in the wings to be sent over to go and suck the life out of Beta Telescopi's petrol station. Good. The Dying Sun anti-ship missile is done. So now we go to industry and we go to ordnance for the first time. We can start building these things. And these still don't have magazines, by the way. Actually, they're magazines. So how many of these do I want? It takes fuel to launch missiles as well. 6 gallicite per missile. Let's design the magazine first. So these ships have 8 missile launchers. 8 missiles is 8 times 8, which I totally know. I'm just using the calculator for you guys in case you didn't know. 64 is 1 volley. 64 size is 1 volley. So we get up our research project, which for some reason always goes behind the class design window, and we go to magazine. Where's my magazine? There it is. Okay, and so we have to choose various things. What's the feed efficiency? And if we lower the feed efficiency, you can see that there's less held in the same sized magazine. And the neutralization chance makes absolutely no difference, except when it's lower, or rather when the chance to neutralize is better, it's just strictly better. There's no downside to increasing that value. And then we play with the magazine size. So at size 1, it can hold 18. And we want it to hold much more than that. So each cruiser should be able to fire. Well, let's look at this. This is one volley. If we made each cruiser able to fire 25 volleys, we need a 1,600 capacity magazine. That would be a 4,350 ton magazine. That's a little extreme. So if we made each cruiser able to fire 15 times, that's 960. And if we made each able to fire 16 times, that's 1,024. What about a 1,000? What about this? A 2,800 ton magazine. Let me prototype that and see how that would look on the cruise on the Azazel. If I put in this magazine, we're gonna have to drop a bunch of armor rating. We've got too many missile launchers, I think, on this thing. How big is each missile launcher again? They're only 300 tons each. It's mostly this freaking massive engine. But I really want the ship to be fast. The jump drive's not helping either. Neither are the sensors, honestly. It's making me think we should have designated ships which are just our sensor and jump drive ships. Okay, fewer volleys. Fewer volleys, which means they have to fight, withdraw, go to the coilers, come back more often. 8 volleys of 8 missiles each, 512. There we go, we can actually get closer to that value as well. So, if we had that instead, then we'd only have to lose 2 layers of armor. No, we'd have to lose so much armor. We need up to at least 8 layers of armor, I think. Maybe I only put the missile. Yeah, no, I think we're going to do it. I think the flagship is going to have our missile sensors on. That saves us 850 tons on all of our cruisers. But that's not enough. I mean, even that is not enough. What if I took off the quad Gauss cannon? Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. We're going to take off the quad Gauss cannon, which means we can take off the beam fire control. Which saves us quite a bit of space. Because why have a beam fire control? You know, let me think about how to phrase this. Each beam fire control we have is kind of wasted space, right? Because one beam fire control can fire as many beam weapons as it wants. So it's better to concentrate those beam weapons on the destroyers. So the destroyers are going to lose some armor rating. They're going to go down to 8. And in exchange, they're going to gain another gun turret. They're going to go down to 6. They're going to go down to 5. They're going to go down. I don't really want to go down to 5. They're going to lose a maintenance storage bay. Oh yeah, and the cruiser should only have 4 months deployment time. What else can I take off? Let's lower our range target. Yeah. Yeah, let's lower our range target to 25 billion kilometers. So we're going to take off some fuel. And one of those large ones. Now you can have 6. No, you can have 5 and some more fuel. Not quite that much. And tiny, tiny. Nope, one tiny and some vice ones. Okay. So the Acasters have an extra quad turret, meaning they're firing 48 rounds each per 5 seconds. And the cruisers don't have the fire control. They do have both of the sensors still. And they have the jump drive. And the Acaster now only has a maintenance life of 0.47, so that's very short. But again, they're only meant to be in space. They can travel the whole distance they're capable of traveling in 34 days. And the range on these will get knocked down as well. There we go, almost exactly. And this way, I might be able to put another magazine on. What if I had the bigger magazine? Yeah. Bigger magazine, 9 armor rating. Not quite that many. Not quite that many. Okay. 9 armor rating on the cruiser, 5 on the destroyer. That's thin. That's kind of thin. It has an anti-ship missile, size 6 missile launcher, 8 of them. Fires once every 15 seconds. It's got a missile fire control. 111 million range. It's got, in its ordnance, okay, we've got to invent the ordnance before I put that in there. It's got auxiliary, bridge, combat engineering. It's got a 4-month deployment time. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's invent this. And let's get one of these bad boys in space. The last place not corrupted by capitalism. We can get... What is it, missiles kinetic? Yeah, so cancel that research for me. That's a reference. I didn't get that, by the way. It's not just a random comment. And give me a bunch of these guys. Okay. Okay. We're building the missiles, are we? No, we're not yet. Okay, so we went with a 1030, which is 128 missiles per ship. So 128 times 3 times 5. Oops. 128 times 3 times 5 is 1,900. So that would give us enough to fully load each ship 3 times. 1,920. So I would like 1,920 of these missiles. Now, 1/3 of that, 640, will be carried in the ships. That means I want my coilers to be capable of carrying 640 missiles. Sorry, which means that each coiler is capable of fully replenishing the ammunition of 5 Azazel class cruisers. So, my coilers need commercial magazines with sufficient capacity. And when it says 500 on a commercial magazine, I think that just means 500, so in this case 500 divided by 6 would be the capacity. Aurora 4X commercial magazine. Sea ship magazine. Magazine. Commercial magazines. They're cheaper but less efficient in terms of space. They have a 100% explosion chance of hit, so don't apply for a job on a commercial ammunition transport. I like the wiki. Yeah, so there's a capacity of 500, size 50. Okay, so in order to store 640 missiles, we need 6 times 640 space. That's 3,840. So we need 4,000 approximately of these. Or rather 8 of them to give us 4,000. Okay, that's a slow ship now. So give it the 50% bigger drive. Now it's a little bit faster. What was our target travel speed? More than that. So our travel speed's going to be a bit slower than I expected. That's okay. This is quite a large vessel. Oh wait, I put this all on the Scout. Whoops. That's my bad. I thought it was weird. It had a jump drive. Put the 40% back on. We should be looking at the Coiler. Where's the Coiler gone? There it is. The Agincourt class Coiler. Needs 8 of these. And yeah, it's still pretty fast. Because it already had 2 of them. Yeah, well, okay, that's okay. Well, I'm going to lower my target speed to this. Okay. Right. But the Coiler also needs an ordnance transfer system. And a cargo shuttle bay. And a lot of large maintenance storage bays. We're going to make these big. Maybe 50,000. How much do the cruisers use? They have 10,000 on them. So one of these can tend to about 5. So it's the same mass. Good. So this is not just a Coiler. This also carries maintenance supply stuff, which you move with cargo shuttle bays. So they can top off ships not just with ammunition, but with maintenance supplies. Okay, so that means we need a 50,000 commercial shipyard. It's going to take a while to build this. We'll build up to 53. This is going to be the shipyards is the supply yards. It's going to hold the Coilers. Okay, good. Okay. Alright, what haven't I invented yet? And I set those going, didn't I? Yeah, it's going to take 2 years to build us three full inventories worth of missiles. And it's going to cost, a lot. If we look at this, ordnance is costing 12,000 Gallicite. So it's a lot we're investing into these missiles. Okay. And the Chronicles have refit. One of the ships is automatically refitted. We want to auto go from Daniel to Exodus. Yes. But now we're out, so we also want to auto refit from Daniel to Exodus freight. Good. I think we're on the right track. I think this is an okay fleet we're building. Okay, what else do I want? Anything half done? I actually want? Yes, jump drive efficiency. Hop on that. And the 40% commercial limited drive. I do want that. Good. Okay. I think we're in quite a good place now. Retooling for the Bosphorus class that the Deep Wells has done. Good. I would like 2 Bosphorus class tankers, please. How much do they hold again? Only 2 million litres. Yeah, that needs to be higher. Cancel these tasks. I'm going to rename this to the Bosphorus MK2. We need a lot more than that in terms of fuel, because I think I'll adapt the same logic. One of these Tankers need to be able to fuel 5 of those ships. Okay, which, if I use my handy calculator, is 3.75 million. So the Bosphorus MK2. We'll still build the boss. Well, maybe. We'll see. Bosphorus MK2. Give me... Where's fuel storage? There it is. Give me 2 more of those. So he's got to 17,000. Fuel capacity upgrade up to 17,000. Sorry. 17. What was it? 17,600. Say that, please. This one. Say it. Yes. Okay. Retool to the Bosphorus MK2 holds more. That'll be good. Unrust is rising on Mars. They feel they have insufficient military protection. How much has the Earth population just dropped? Not much. That's good. Earth, load up another police unit, drop them off on Mars. And we finished the Magneto Drive, the commercial one, okay? And the shipbuilding rate is done as well. Let's take shipbuilding rate. No, shipbuilding, let's do shipyard operations and maintenance production rate. Yeah, good. Okay. Times it, by the way, 9:30. Okay, and now we need... We've invented enough to make some of these non-prototype, I think. Yes. So the shipyard for Albatrosses should retool to Albatross MK2s. And the... What else? I think lots of these aren't prototype anymore. Yes, the stabilization ship, the Gate Manufactorium, can retool to the Centotl. And the transport yards can retool to the Cadiz. Wait, that's the Earthmeter docks. Do not do that. Delete activity. The transport yards can retool to the Cadiz. The freight docks is already done, obviously. The Earthmover docks presumably can do it as well. Yep, can retool to the Adrian MK3. Good. Good, good. So now we need a new bridging design between our surveys and our scouts. But the scout is still a prototype because we haven't invented the active search sensor, so it's not time for that yet. Okay, on with the show. Earth Shipyards 2 has started harvesting. Good. And we've got some more research done. What got interrupted? Course cannon rate of fire. Okay, you can have someone. And then... What's useful here? We do want... Let's plow through a couple of these low engine power ones. And we've got the magazine invented now. Which means I think the Azazel is no longer... No, it's still a prototype because it needs the missile fire control and the missile search sensor. One of which is here. Where's the missile fire control? Am I not researching that? Did I just miss that? Missile fire control. Oh, sorry, this is the missile... Yeah, this is the missile search sensor. Where's the missile fire control? Are you sure that's still a prototype? I didn't hit research prototype on it. I'm an idiot! Okay, one of these sensors guys. We have a good sensor guy, so just give me all these. No. Give me all these labs, please. You guys, get me that missile fire control. Okay. Pinion capacity for the deep well yards is done. So now, I told you not just normally ticking through time. I know we've spent the first episode, so it's just waiting for the day ticks to go, but this is more representative of the actual game. You are going to retool to the Bosphorus MK2. Retooling for the Bosphorus MK2 is done. Okay, so construct me some Bosphorus MK2s, 2 of them. And what else is done? Drinker razors, earth mover yachts, docks, and the deep well fields. Okay, so they're fine. I don't need to build any more of them yet. It's all good. The barracks yard is done. So, transport guys, I'd like you to refit the Agincourt. We only have one Agincourt, don't we? No, we have two. Okay. Yeah, that's right. There's two in that fleet. So I'll retool those for me. And the refueling hub is done. Right, so the Coiler, actually... Coiler. The Agincourt class Coiler right now has a ordnance transfer system. It also needs... Let's just refresh this hard way. It also needs a refueling hub. Oh, it's 100,000 tons. Never mind. We'll just put a refueling system on. Okay, and the shipyard that this is designed for... supply yards is going to take a long time to be ready. But that's okay. Rehauling yards was a logistics tech. I think I'd rather have some more construction production stuff, honestly. Give me... You know what? Yeah, start on some mining production. And then... Yeah, some advanced damage control. Seems good. There's the jump drive for the Acaster done. Oh crap, it doesn't have a jump drive on it right now. Damn. And blast it. Refresh this list for me. That means it's way oversized. We're gonna have to take a gun back off. There's no other way. Not really. And now it can lose a little bit of this fuel. And instead get a bit more maintenance. Yeah, not quite that much. Tiny fighter. Okay, there we go. That's annoying. Back down to only 32 shots. That's okay though. It's okay. Now, what we just researched? The jump drive. Yes. So power and propulsion. Don't really want any of these. Ground combat? I think I might as well start inventing some ground combat. Sure. Invent me some drop bays so we can land forces from orbit. Drop pods, baby! Pretty cool stuff. The gate manufactorium's upgraded. I'd like you to auto refit my jump gate builders, please. And the Titan terraforming is done. Look at that, temperature factor. Basically unchanged. Why is it unchanged? That's weird. Is the greenhouse gas effect maxed or something? Crap, it might be. Aurora 4X greenhouse factor maxed. Greenhouse factor. Is there a maximum greenhouse factor? I do believe it's possible to reduce any surface temperature to level 1. You can't do the same for raising temperature. Damn. And the example being used is precisely Titan. Yeah, maximum of 3 greenhouse factor. Damn! So we're not going to be able to make Titan perfectly livable. But that's not the worst thing in the world, because what we can do is dramatically reduce the amount of infrastructure required to get a population of 2 billion supported on the planet. So it's still not wasted. Adding that last bit of tritium, whatever it's called, was wasted though. So we need to add some water vapor. Let's add 0.2 atmospheres of water vapor. We finished researching the missile fire control. So the Azazel is no longer a prototype. So let's take one last look at this. It's got a missile active search sensor. It's got an active, let's do this the fun way. Here's our ship. It's got auxiliary control, bridge, command information center, and main engineering. It's got an engine. It's got a jump drive. That was meant to be a J. What am I doing? JD. Jump drive. It's got fuel. It's got the right kind of range. It's a bit low, but we'll work with it. It's got engineering spaces, which I missed off on my previous talking about building ships. Actually, now I think about it, that's not great. It's got engineering plus maintenance. It's got missile launcher. Sorry, that's midfield Ghost Cannon. It's got missile launcher. It's got missile fire control. It's got a magazine. It's got a 3-month deployment time, so crew quarters. It's got a damage control. Yeah, okay. I think it's ready. And then the Acaster has beam fire control, same command setup, same deployment time, improved damage control, engine, engineering spaces, fuel, maintenance storage, jump drive, quad Ghost Cannon. They're ready. Retool the cruiser yards for the CA cruiser Azazel. Retool the destroyer belts for the destroyer Acaster. Construct to the Earth shipyards 5 Acaster destroyers. Construct to the Earth shipyards 5 cruiser Azazels. Use staggering quantities of minerals to do it. Let's go. Let's go. We're building our first military vessels. Only like 15 hours into the series. Brilliant. Breakneck pace. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.